Hello, everybody, and welcome in to the Week 10 Film Room. I'm Evan Lazar. As always, for CLNS Media and Patriots Press Pass, we are going to break down Mac Jones's Week 10 tape against the Cleveland Browns. Mac's very best performance so far in the NFL. And the stat that stands out to me above all else, and there's some great metrics on Mac from this game, is on his 16 non-screen passes. So his throws without screens, just 16 of them. He was 13 to 16 on those throws, but most importantly, his average air yards or his air yards per attempt was 10.4, and his time to release on average was 2.39 seconds. So we're not talking about check down Charlie. We're not talking about get to the top of the drop and throw a 5-yard pass and inflate those completion percentage stats and inflate your time to throw stats by not throwing the football down the field. This was a quarterback who was attacking windows down the football field, knowing where he was going to go with the ball quickly, and processing defense both before the snap and after the snap at warp speed. Some veteran quarterbacks don't see the field as well and as quickly as Mac Jones did against the Browns. So we're talking about an elite quarterback really since week 4. These last 7 games from Mac Jones, you look at his PFF grade since week 5, PFF's number 1 rated quarterback in the entire NFL since week 5 is Patriots rookie Mac Jones. And he's really starting to play at an elite level for the Pats as the pieces around him have figured things out. The offensive line, Josh McDaniels has integrated some of his playmakers at the Patriots sign in the offseason a little bit better in the last month or so. And now Mac is flying, and he's playing at an absolute fantastic level for the Patriots. And we're going to show you 5 throws from Mac's best game and best tape of the season against the Cleveland Browns now. And we're going to start with this throw on 3rd down to Hunter Henry. And the first thing that I want to show you is the pre-snap understanding and just kind of recognition by Mac Jones to understand that this is probably going to fall off into zone coverage. So the Browns start with all these defenders, 6 of them right here on the line of scrimmage with this mug look by the defense, right? So these linebackers both over the A gaps in this mug look. Now, usually if you're going to get some sort of double A gap pressure or A gap blitz, it's probably going to be man-to-man, because if these defenders are going to blitz, then they don't have the zone structure. They don't have the numbers in the back end to drop into some sort of spot drop type of zone. But if this is going to end up being backed off and these linebackers are going to drop, and they would drop to add into the zone, right? To add into the zone structure in the back end. So what Mac is looking at now is maybe this is man, but if you look at the top of the screen, you're going to see this defender here and this defender there. They're opened up to the quarterback, and see how their hips and their eyes and everything is pointed in towards Mac Jones. And that's going to tell him that this is probably more than likely zone. And then as we continue this play just a little bit, you're going to see that safety bail out into this too high. And now you have this safety bailing out. Now we're going to play this too high zone. You have these defenders looking like it's zone. At this point in time, Mac Jones recognizes that these mugged defenders here probably not blitzing. This is probably going to back off and be a 4-man rush, and they're going to drop into some sort of quarters or cover 2 type of structure. At that point in time, all he's going to do is throw opposite the leverage, right? He's going to throw off of leverage and make a leverage-based read here with Hunter Henry. So this linebacker here is going to drop off into this zone coverage, and Hunter Henry is just going to sit into the void in the zone with this corner bailing here, this safety going deep, and that defender dropping off. Hunter Henry is just going to open into that void and sit down past the sticks and give Mac an opportunity to throw the ball past the sticks for a 1st down. And as we snap the ball, look how quickly Mac's eyes and look how quickly he makes this decision. And then when Hunter Henry is coming out of his break here and getting his eyes back to the quarterback, there's the football. That's great pre-snap and post-snap processing of a pretty exotic coverage rotation. If we go back here by the Browns to drop off this mug front and drop into this cover 2 shell, rotate it after the snap, and Mac just sees it all happening so quickly. Now we're going to get into another play here where Mac is going to use information presented to him by Josh McDaniels to understand his indicators pre-snap and know where to go with the football. So what he's going to get is Hunter Henry here at the top of the screen is going to motion in. Right now, you have this too high structure. This maybe based off of the alignment of the defenders looks like some sort of two-man type of look potentially. But the Browns after the snap are actually going to rotate it into one robber, and this safety is going to rotate into the box, and he's going to try to lurk in the middle of the field and cut off those crossing routes. So as we see this motion, the key indicator here is if Hunter Henry motions into this alignment and nobody follows him and the defense doesn't really react to it, then that's a good indicator to Mac that it's zone coverage. But when Hunter Henry motions in, these two Brown defenders have a little bit of communication, kind of like I got this guy, you got that guy type of communication, and that keys to Mac that it's going to be man to man. So as we roll it, you see Mac is going to motion Hunter Henry in, and you see this conversation they have at the top of the screen. You got this guy, I got that guy, that sort of thing. So now Mac recognizes, okay, this is probably man to man. So now I know it's man, and at the back end here on the back side, I have this levels concept. We have two in-breaking routes there over the middle of the field. And all Mac is going to do is he's going to read this rat defender coming in post-snap, and he's going to say, okay, if that rat takes the first guy in, I'm going to throw the second guy in. If he takes the second guy in, I'm going to throw the first guy in. So what ends up happening as we roll that play is that rat defender comes in, and he's going to hang out right here at the sticks and try to help leverage these routes inside the formation for these defenders that are playing outside leverage. Now, the Patriots kind of flood the rat, right? And now there's too many defenders or too many receivers, for him to cover all of them. So all Mac is going to do is throw where the rat isn't. So when the rat stays inside to kind of take away this Hunter Henry route and this double in-breaker here, this is Nelson Aguilar here, the rat's going to stay inside and low to kind of take away those two routes. And Mac is just going to wait for Kendrick Bourne to get on the other side of the middle of the field help, and he's going to throw to him for the first down. So you just see his ability after the snap now to read that rotation by the safeties, but also recognize where that safety is holding. He's going to hold that help into the middle of the field. So I'm just going to wait until Kendrick Bourne clears him, and I'm going to throw him open on the other side of the rat. That's just great processing once again from Mac Jones. So now you get another processing type of play on third down, and Mac was just excellent on third down this entire game. And you're going to get another pre-snap motion. You're going to get this mug front again. You're going to see the Browns threatening this man pressure, this man look. And what you're going to recognize from Mac is when this Hunter Henry motion comes, here comes Henry, nobody reacts to it. See how nobody goes with Henry? That is an indicator to Mac that it's probably zone. And these linebackers, once again, are going to drop off into this zone coverage, and they're going to form some type of zone structure. The other element of this that's really important that I think Mac recognizes is that this safety here is capping the slot defender. And what capping means is just he's going to line up right behind the slot defender, which usually is a blitz indicator. So when you have this cap defender, the reason why they do that is that allows the safety behind this blitzing corner to then pick up the corner's man and replace him in the coverage. So as the ball is snapped, Mac knows, okay, I have this cap defender here. It's probably zone coverage of some sort, or at least I'm going to get one-on-one on the outside. This safety is over here to try to replace the blitzing slot in the zone. I have one-on-one here at the bottom of the screen. And this safety is not going to be a factor in the middle of the field because he's got to worry about this blitz action that's going on over here. And as we roll the play, Mac recognizes that. He knows that safety is not going to help over the top of Jacoby Myers' route. Here comes the blitz, and there comes the throw to beat the defense over the top. That's just, again, understanding where your answers are, understanding just how the table is being set by the defense and all the indicators that Josh McDaniels gives him and all the information that he can process pre-snap. The cap defender thing is just next level, right? He recognizes this slot blitz is coming. This safety is not rallying back to the middle of the field. He knows that because he's got to help on that blitz because here comes this blitz inside. He knows exactly where that's going. We're one-on-one over here on the fade to Jacoby Myers, and that's exactly where we're going with the football. I mean, that's not year one type of stuff. That's year 10 type of stuff there by Mac. All right, next play here coming up. Great catch by Jacoby Myers there as well. Here's the throw to Kendrick Bourne, the touchdown pass, the 23-yarder, and the Patriots are going to work this three-man route combination here at the bottom of the screen. And again, they're going to get this post safety structure. So if Mac gets man-to-man out of this post safety, he's going to have two vertical routes. He's going to have a little out and up here along the sideline, and then he's just going to have the seam up the middle of the field by Kendrick Bourne, and then Hunter Henry is kind of his check down coming here into the flat. But one of the key parts about this entire play, other than the man-to-man and the cover one, is Nelson Aguilar's route here on the backside. Little glance or quick post. Because he has this quick post on the backside, Mac knows that this safety might hold into the middle of the field just a split second because he's got to help on that post route on the backside, and that's going to leave the over-the-top throw up the seam or on this double move at the bottom of the screen open, because that post safety is kind of in conflict here. He can't help over the top of the three receiver side and then leave the glance route wide open, because then Mac will just bang the glance and the Patriots will probably get a first down or maybe even a touchdown if Nelson Aguilar wins on that route clean enough. So as we roll the play a little bit, you're going to see that safety in the middle of the field. He's just going to have to hold just a little bit of extra time here because of this route coming in here, and he's got to respect that. And then he sees Kendrick Bourne winning on the route up the seam, and here's the window. But what ends up happening here is that Kendrick Bourne's actually going to drift a little bit on his route. He talked about this after the game. He should have ran it up the field. It's going to end up looking something like that, right? And because of that, it's going to come dangerously close to this safety. And this throw in week 2, Mac is not making this throw. Mac's putting this in his back pocket, and he's not even attempting this throw. Maybe he checks it down to Hunter Henry in the flat, and the Patriots live to play another down. Mac Jones in week 10, he's attacking this downfield window. Even though it's a tight window, he's attacking with it, and that's how you get the highlight reel throw between two defenders. So he actually bails Kendrick Bourne out a little bit here for drifting on the route, and he understands here as we get into the play, this is an NFL window that I got to hit. I got to be aggressive here and make this throw, and that's an absolute rocket. I don't know if people thought that Mac Jones had that kind of arm strength, but guess what? Here we go. So last play here, I think you all know which one this is. It's the corner route to Hunter Henry. Again, here comes the motion. No reaction from the defense, right? No sort of follow by the defense or no adjustment by the defense to play this in man-to-man coverage. So when Hunter Henry motions and nothing happens, Mac's going to say, oh, this is, again, probably zone coverage. So what the Patriots have at the top of the screen here are two vertical routes and then Henry coming in to fill in on the corner. And that's how they're going to clear out the sideline for Henry's route. He's going to end up getting this linebacker here on him in coverage. That's a great matchup. The second thing that you notice, we talked about that word leverage earlier. Here's another leverage-based read by Mac Jones. That linebacker dropping into that zone near Hunter Henry is inside leverage on Hunter Henry. So that means that Mac has an outbreaking route against an inside leverage defender. So now he has leverage. He has leverage in his favor to throw this football to Hunter Henry. So as we roll the play, here comes the middle linebacker actually takes him. My fault. The deep hole player here. So you still have that leverage, right? So here comes the linebacker outside, and this route's going this way. So Mac knows that, and he's got these vertical routes clearing out the sideline, so there's not going to be any help there. And all that he's got to do in this cover 3 structure is put this ball out on the sideline, and Hunter Henry is going to have the leverage. He's going to have the body positioning to box out at the catch point and make this catch. And that's exactly what you get. Little pressure there, too. He's able to just step into the throw and rip it. I want to show you this one from the end zone angle because the ball placement is just incredible. So here comes the motion. 51 is going to be the defender that ends up taking him. And when 51 drops, again, you can see the body placement here. You see the separation already, but you see that defender inside of him. And he knows that Henry's going this direction, and he's got the vertical clear outs. And he just stands in this pocket, steps into the ball, and look at where that throw is. I mean, you don't get any better than that in terms of downfield ball placement. That is right where it needs to be for Hunter Henry to make that catch. So there's 5 throws with Mac Jones, all of them good for different reasons. But I think the one thing that really stood out about everything that Mac did on Sunday against the Cleveland Browns was how he took the information given to him before the ball was snapped by Josh McDaniels, whether it was by alignment, whether it was by motion, whether it was by looking at the defense and the leverages of the defenders and knowing where to go with the football before the ball is even snapped. And being able to do that at any point in your NFL career is impressive. Being able to do that in week 10 of your rookie season is downright stupid. And that's what Mac Jones has been able to do here now in week 10 of his NFL career is he has the answers to the test before the ball is even snapped. And that's a really rare trait to have, especially for a rookie quarterback. So that was your week 10 film review of Mac Jones against the Cleveland Browns from last Sunday's game. We'll have another film review, don't you worry, Mac Jones's performance against the Atlanta Falcons on Thursday Night Football as well. And if you like this video, if you want to listen to my podcast, Patriots Beat with Alex Barth at 98.5, we do a lot more of these breakdowns, a lot more of this nitty-gritty detail type of stuff. So please subscribe to the channel, Patriots Press Pass, and you can read my written film review of Mac Jones and the Patriots defense on CLNSmedia.com. I'm Evan Lazar for CLNS Media. Thanks for watching, everybody.